Let me tell you something honestly. Winning is not about how loudly you celebrate at the end. Winning is about what you quietly do every day when nobody is watching. Many people wait for motivation. Winners create discipline. Many people complain about the year. Winners take responsibility for the year. If you want to end 2026 like a winner, don't ask, what did the world give me? Ask yourself, what did I do with my time? Every year gives the same 365 days. The difference is how you use them. Some people use time to scroll, to blame, to wait. Some people use time to learn, to fail, to improve. I failed many times in my life. I was rejected. I was laughed at. But failure taught me one thing: if you don't give up, time will eventually stand on your side. Don't try to change your life in one night. Change your habits. Change how you think. Change how you respond to problems. If you are tired, rest, but don't quit. If you are slow, keep moving, but don't stop. Small progress every day looks invisible, but at the end of the year, it looks like success. Remember this: today is uncomfortable, tomorrow is uncertain, but the end belongs to those who stayed consistent. When 2026 ends, don't measure your success by money alone. Measure it by how much stronger, wiser, and more disciplined you became. That is how winners are made, not at the finish line, but on ordinary days when quitting feels easier. Consistency is the quiet force behind every real achievement. Motivation is emotional and temporary. It comes and goes depending on mood, energy, or circumstances. Some days you feel inspired, some days you don't. If your progress depends only on how motivated you feel, your results will always be unstable. Consistency, however, does not wait for the perfect feeling. It shows up even when enthusiasm is low and confidence is missing. When you act consistently, you train your mind to work without excuses. Small actions repeated daily build discipline, and discipline creates reliability. This is how skills are formed, habits are strengthened, and character is shaped. 1 hour of focused work every day is more powerful than 10 hours done once a month. Consistency also reduces fear. When you take regular steps, failure becomes part of the routine rather than something to avoid. Mistakes turn into feedback, not setbacks. Over time, progress compounds quietly, often unnoticed at first. People underestimate consistent effort because it looks ordinary, but ordinary actions repeated long enough produce extraordinary results. Those who win are not always the most talented or the most motivated. They are the ones who continue moving forward on difficult days, boring days, and uncertain days, trusting that steady effort will eventually turn effort into results. Responsibility is the moment you stop blaming circumstances and start owning your choices. Many people wait for conditions to improve, for support to appear, or for luck to change. Progress begins only when you accept that your life is shaped by how you respond, not by what happens to you. Taking responsibility means admitting where you are, understanding why you are there, and deciding to act differently. When you hold yourself responsible, excuses lose their power. Time is no longer wasted on complaints or comparisons. Energy is redirected towards solutions, learning, and improvement. Responsibility builds clarity because it forces you to ask honest questions about effort, discipline, and priorities. Results follow responsibility because action follows ownership. Once you accept that your growth depends on you, consistency becomes natural and focus becomes sharper. Mistakes are no longer denied or hidden. They are examined and corrected. This mindset creates momentum because every outcome, good or bad, becomes useful information. People who take responsibility earn trust, both from others and from themselves. They develop resilience because setbacks no longer feel personal or unfair, only instructive. Over time, this attitude compounds into confidence, stability, and measurable progress, turning intention into action and action into lasting achievement. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the learning process. Every failure carries information, and every mistake reveals what does not work. When people fear failure, they avoid action, and without action, there is no growth. Those who succeed understand that failure is not a judgment on their ability, but a lesson that sharpens it. Education does not only come from books or teachers. Real education comes from experience, from trying, falling, adjusting, and trying again. Each failure builds awareness, patience, and problem-solving skills. It teaches humility and forces reflection. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" successful people ask, "What is this teaching me?" Failure also strengthens emotional endurance. Repeated attempts train the mind to remain calm under pressure and uncertainty. Over time, rejection and mistakes lose their power to discourage. They become familiar steps on the path forward. When failure is treated as education, progress becomes inevitable. Fear disappears, experimentation increases, and improvement accelerates. The people who go far are not those who never fail, but those who learn faster because they fail more often, using every setback as material for growth and every mistake as a classroom for deeper understanding. Small daily habits shape the direction of life more than rare moments of intense effort. Big wins are not created in sudden breakthroughs, but in ordinary routines repeated consistently. What you do every day trains your mind, body, and behavior, slowly defining who you become. A small habit may seem insignificant, but when practiced daily, it compounds into powerful change. Habits remove the need for constant decision-making. Once an action becomes routine, progress continues even when motivation is low. Reading a few pages, learning a new skill for minutes, or improving one small process each day builds momentum that grows quietly over time. These actions accumulate, turning effort into mastery. Small habits also create confidence. When you keep small promises to yourself, self-trust increases. This trust makes it easier to take on bigger challenges and remain disciplined under pressure. Progress becomes sustainable rather than exhausting. Many people underestimate habits because results are not immediate. But time rewards repetition. What feels slow today becomes impressive tomorrow. Those who focus on daily improvement do not chase shortcuts or quick success. They allow consistency to work in their favor, transforming simple routines into lasting advantages that separate steady achievers from those who only start strong but fade quickly. Long-term thinking shifts focus from immediate rewards to lasting impact. Many people chase quick results, but true success is built through patience, planning, and the willingness to delay gratification. When you think long-term, decisions are guided by where you want to be years from now, not by short-term comfort or temporary excitement. This mindset encourages stability and reduces emotional reactions to daily challenges. Long-term thinking creates resilience. Setbacks feel less damaging when viewed as part of a longer journey. Instead of quitting after a bad month or a difficult year, you continue moving forward, understanding that progress is rarely linear. Time becomes an ally rather than an enemy. This approach also improves judgment. Long-term thinkers invest in skills, relationships, and systems that grow over time. They value learning more than instant recognition and discipline more than quick praise. Short-term losses are accepted when they support long-term growth. True success is not measured by fast wins, but by sustained progress. It is reflected in personal development, reliability, and the ability to adapt without losing direction. Those who think long-term avoid burnout, maintain clarity under pressure, and build foundations that support growth across years, allowing effort to compound into meaningful achievements that endure beyond temporary success. In conclusion, ending 2026 like a winner is not about luck, applause, or sudden success. It is about the quiet decisions made every day, choosing consistency over motivation, responsibility over excuses, and learning over fear of failure. Small daily habits, practiced with discipline, compound into visible progress over time. When you think long-term, setbacks lose their power and effort gains direction. Winners are shaped by patience, self-accountability, and the courage to continue when results are slow. By staying focused, learning from mistakes, and showing up daily, you don't just finish the year stronger, you become the kind of person who keeps winning beyond it